Welcome to Weekly Digest, where we highlight the works of ministers of government as they push the administration's developmental agenda. Residents from several communities along the Soesdijk-Linden Highway were engaged by Minister within the Ministry of Public Works, Deodat Indar, and Minister within the Office of the Prime Minister with Responsibility for Public Affairs, Kwame McCoy, on issues related to roadworks, agriculture, crime, and water. The engagement was a follow-up to an outreach led by His Excellency Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali to various communities along the highway on Wednesday last.
Next week we'll start distributing these black tanks, right? So every household will get a black tank so that you can use, right?
Minister within the Ministry of Public Works, Deodat Indar, has reaffirmed the government's commitment to facilitating interventions where there is need and improving connectivity and infrastructural capabilities countrywide. The minister was defending the 2023 budget, pointing out that it was meticulously crafted to shatter barriers.
This budget is little above $751.9 trillion, $781.9 billion. It will see rapid implementation in 2023. We will put the work out. We will spend this money. We will get the programs to the people. We will help everyone. This budget is breaking barriers, Mr. Speaker. All the racial barriers, the economic barriers, the social barriers, it's designed to do that. Break down all of these barriers, designed to help every single man, woman, and child. That is what this budget is designed to do.
The minister also pointed out that in 2022, over 1,100 roads were built under the Ministry of Public Works. This is a true testament to the government's commitment to improving the infrastructural capacity countrywide. Public Works Minister Bishop Juan Edgel, in his zealous defense of the 2023 budget, highlighted that the PPPC government remains staunch in its dedication to transforming the lives of all Guyanese.
And I would also like to express to the team at the Ministry of Finance our deep gratitude and appreciation on behalf of the team at the Ministry of Public Works for working with us to ensure that Guyana's development and transformation and modernization is not stymied, but rather accelerated. Somebody where we mash brakes, but we mashing the accelerator. We know which pedal to put our foot on. We mashing the accelerator because the people of Guyana are impatient. They want development. They want development. They want Guyana to modernize, and that's what we are doing, and we will deliver for them.
The Public Works Minister also called attention to the projects in store for Guyana through the 2023 budget, such as advancing the new 4-lane high-span bridge across the Demerara River and upgrades to the wharves at Kingston and Port Kaituma in preparation for the incoming MV Malaysia vessel. A whopping $136.1 billion was allocated in the budget to the Public Works Ministry for roads and bridges, facilitating the advancement of transport services and representing the government's intentions to build for the future. Minister of Local Government and Regional Development Nigel Dharamlal said that since assuming office, every budget put forward by the PPPC administration has been crafted to ensure inclusivity and to foster development. He shared this sentiment while defending the 2023 national budget to the National Assembly.
The context of this budget, the policy framework of this budget rests solidly on a One Guyana platform, irrespective of the pernicious language of members of the opposition on race baiting, against poor people, their vicious attacks against Amerindian development. We are going to steadfastly work on developing this country.
The minister noted that this development is not limited to local government, but extends on a much larger scale. Adding his voice to the 2023 budget debates on Thursday, Minister of Home Affairs Robeson Ben disclosed that his ministry will be investing heavily in procuring assets for agencies in the security sector, as well as rolling out programs aimed at promoting peace nationwide.
And taking into account the challenges we face over the time that the APNU-AFC was in government, and taking account of what we need to do to carry this country forward, he speaks and we speak of one Guyana. We speak of one Guyana. And we know that we will not fail in this mission, and no person In fact, I could even go biblical. No weapon formed against us will prosper in this mission.
He said that the Guyana Prison Service has seen a 14% increase in the prison population, and in response, government will improve the infrastructure at the prisons. Minister Ben told the National Assembly that there has been a 20% decrease in serious crimes between the period 2015 to 2022, which he attributed to the government's investments in the Guyana Defense Force. Minister within the Ministry of Housing and Water, Susan Rodriguez, told the National Assembly that the PPPC government will lead Guyana into the future with clearly defined strategies to ensure the prosperity of all Guyanese.
We are investing in infrastructure aimed at improving lives, not infrastructure like Durban Park or arches, which are totally useless and add no value to people's lives. People need to understand how the budget benefits them. I am fortunate, Mr. Speaker, to serve in a sector with achievements I do not need to boast about, because the evidence of our achievements are available for all to see.
She highlighted the range of measures and programs implemented by the Housing and Water Ministry to drastically enhance the lives of all Guyanese, such as the Home Construction Assistance Program, the Cement and Steel Subsidy Initiative, and their aggressive regularization exercises. The PPPC government is not in the business of disenfranchising residents, but rather committed to creating the framework to make homeownership accessible for all citizens. This was made clear by Minister of Housing and Water, Colin Crowe, during the budget debates.
It balances infrastructure development with modern systems for the delivery of social services that will significantly and positively impact the quality of life enjoyed by all citizens. But more importantly though, it puts the needs of our citizens at the center of every project, of every social intervention, of every policy. It is truly a representation of the vision of this PPPC government for our beloved country.
He added that from the inception, the PPPC government has been dedicated to providing opportunities to make home ownership a reality. To this end, major focus will also be placed on the construction of 345 low-income units set to be constructed at Great Diamond, Little Diamond, and Ordnance Fort Lands. 131 young professional homes will be constructed at Prospect and 80 at Little Diamond. 266 moderate-income homes will also be constructed at Cummings Lodge, Williamsburg, Hampshire, and Amelia's Ward. The government has invested over $100 million in Region 7, Kayuni-Mazaruni, for 2022, Minister of Amerindian Affairs Pauline Sukai has disclosed. She was at the time addressing the opposition's contentions that very little investments have been made in Region 7 to improve lives. The minister said that 700 residents of Camarang, a community in Upper Mazaruni, are now benefiting from quality potable water.
In Region 7, more than $100 million were invested in 2022. Some 700 residents of Camarang in Region 7 are benefiting from a new $45 million water system funded by the PPP civic government.
She also highlighted that the Gold Scholarship Program as well as the BIT program are also benefiting Amerindian youths. These and other training programs, coupled with government's continued efforts to improve ICT connectivity in hinterland communities, are indicative of the investments being made in enhancing the lives of the indigenous people. Minister of Human Services and Social Security Dr. Vindhya Prasad passionately defended the 2023 budget on Wednesday, saying that it will bring to reality a host of programs to make a positive impact on the lives of the most vulnerable citizens.
As a government, we believe in the stability of families. We believe in community development. We believe in infrastructural development. We're not a government that is impervious to the global crises that is affecting every country in this world. We're not a government that is oblivious to the trends in the world that would have had an impact on so many different aspects of governance and the way people govern. In fact, we have offered as a government tangible solutions to the challenges to food security, making Guyana pivotal in CARICOM, the voice of CARICOM, providing the solutions that CARICOM is following, the region is looking at, the world is looking at in terms of fighting the global crises.
Minister of Agriculture Zulfikar Mustafa said that the 2023 budget will address the socio-economic transformation of Guyana and continue to fortify the government's One Guyana vision.
This transformation that we are witnessing didn't happen by magic. It took visionary leadership of the People's Progressive Party civic government and the prudent management of the country's resources to make it happen.
The PPPC government has already re-employed close to 1,500 workers within the Guyana Sugar Corporation, GAISUCO, allowing them to provide a livelihood for their families and contribute to the recovery of their village economies. Commendably, the rice industry is expected to grow significantly by 8.3% in 2023, as the government pushes to meet its target of positioning the industry to continue its upward trajectory to achieve 1 million tons of rice by 2025. Minister of Education Priya Manichan has vindicated the $94.4 billion allocation for the education sector. She said that this is in keeping with the government's goal of providing quality and equitable education for all students. She also stated that Guyana boasts the largest education channel in the Caribbean, calling attention to the Guyana Learning Channel, which is also available on YouTube.
This is the work that has allowed us to reach people where ordinarily, unless you could afford a fancy lessons in Georgetown, you could not be reached.
With some $300 million allocated for further disbursement of small business grants, Tourism, Industry and Commerce Minister Onish Warren has reiterated that government is focused on sustainably developing the lives of all Guyanese.
Like our previous budgets, Budget 2023 continues to make provision for the development of our country in line with the fundamental philosophy of the People's Progressive Party civic, which is to secure broad-based, inclusive development for all Guyanese.
In 2022, a total of 1,429 small business grants were given to people across the country to advance their businesses. This represents about a 40% increase in the distribution of grants in 2022 compared to the entire 5-year period of the APNU-AFC administration, which only saw some 560 grants being distributed in total. Minister of Parliamentary Affairs and Governance, Gail Teixeira, has made it clear that the PPPC government understands the needs of the people and stands ready to meet those needs.
This budget comes after the emergency budget of 2020 and the 2021 and 2022 budgets to rebalance Guyana after the 5 years of APNU-AFC incompetence as a government. And it has set the foundation for its transformation, steadfastly, carefully, calculatedly, step by step, for the sustainable transformation of our nation, improving lives today, building prosperity for tomorrow.
Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony expressed that Guyana's stance as one of the fastest growing economies in the world is made possible through the prudent stewardship of the PPPC government. He made this statement during the 2023 budget debates.
Many reputable international institutions have commended the President and the government of Guyana for the stewardship of the economy and for the unfurling of the unprecedented transformational developmental agenda in energy, in food security, in job creation, and in improving dignity and well-being of all the people of Guyana.
In 2022, more than 250 health centers and health posts were upgraded in every region. Further, Guyana's collaboration with the Pan American Health Organization, or PAHO, has seen the development of a comprehensive package to facilitate more than 216 interventions at health posts across the country. These include the diagnosis and treatment of the most prevalent infectious diseases, maternal and child health services, immunization, and diagnosis and treatment of the main chronic non-communicable diseases. The government of Guyana continues to establish its footprint on the international scene as it rebuilds its image as a responsible and trusted democratic, political, and socio-economic partner following the 2020 elections fiasco.
We have spent time between 2020 and now rebuilding Guyana's image to the extent that our international footprint have increased dramatically. There's confidence in the people of this country. As I speak, Mr. President, the Guatemalans are preparing to establish, Mr. Speaker, sorry, the Guatemalans are preparing to establish an embassy here in Guyana. As I speak, the Colombians are preparing to re-establish an embassy here in Guyana. As I speak, Dominican Republic, they are preparing to establish an embassy here in Georgetown. Mr. Speaker, our international image has been repaired.
Foreign Affairs Minister Hugh Todd said that the PPPC administration will continue to foster strong bilateral relationships that will see development for all the people of Guyana. Minister within the Office of the Prime Minister with responsibility for public affairs, Kwame McCoy, on Monday afternoon highlighted the government's mandate to educate and empower Guyanese with information that is beneficial to their development.
So they are coming here to dramatize and to get this impression that, it is only us who care about the people. Oh, everything is so bad, and things are bad, and this is bad, and that is bad. This must stop now. It must stop now. We are busy building a country for every Guyanese. We are busy building a country in which all its people would benefit.
He pointed to the host of measures put in place to enhance the lives of Guyanese, highlighting that this trend is set to continue with the budget allocations. The minister stated that the monies allocated through cash grants for the various vulnerable groups, as well as for the advancements in infrastructure, will go a long way in fostering sustainable development in all sectors. Prime Minister Brigadier Mark Phillips believes that Budget 2023 will continue to transform the lives of all Guyanese.
Budgets that continue to steer us on the trajectory set forth by our PPPC government to transform Guyana and touch the lives of every single Guyanese across the length and breadth of our country, creating impacts that allow for our people to live comfortably with the confidence that there is a bright tomorrow.
The contributions of the APNU-AFC opposition at any forum could not be compared to the policies and programs put forward by the PPPC government. This assertion was made by Minister of Labour Joseph Hamilton on Monday as he defended the government's $781.9 billion 2023 budget.
Our policies, our programs, our measures, they were articulated in the budget presented by Minister Ashton. How we will execute these programs, how we will pay for the programs to be executed, the benefits it will bring to the Guyanese people, and who the beneficiaries would be. I contend that in 5 days, they will chastise and criticize our budget. But I am confident that they will not be capable to bring any comparable program to put before the Guyanese people, challenging what is in this document.
Minister Hamilton said that his ministry was able to train some 7,500 persons in various skills through the Board of Industrial Training in just 2.5 years. Budget 2023 creates the framework for the advancement of Guyana's legislative agenda, which aims to foster transparency, accountability, inclusivity, and efficiency. Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs Mohabir Anil Nandlal, Senior Counsel, made this declaration during the budget debates.
Budget 2023 was not crafted in abstract. In the year 2020, the People's Progressive Party Civic went to the electorate with a 5-year development plan. We explained that plan to the electorate, and we asked the electorate that if they support that plan, then elect us to government and we will implement that plan. And elect us they did, Mr. Speaker, and we are implementing the 3rd installment of that plan.
The Attorney General made note of the government's continued efforts to modernize and transform the judicial system. In defending the 2023 national budget on Thursday, Minister of Natural Resources Vikram Bharat reaffirmed the government's commitment to ensuring transparency and accountability on all levels of government. He said that this stance is reflected in the revision and subsequent amendments of the Natural Resource Fund Act.
We are serious about transparency and accountability. That today, every single Guyanese, any ordinary Guyanese, can know how much money will flow from the Natural Resource Fund account into the national budget. And they will know how much will flow next year and the other year. That is transparency. That is accountability.
Meanwhile, Minister within the Ministry of Local Government and Regional Development, Anand Prasad, Minister of Public Service, Sonia Parag, Minister of Culture, Youth and Sport, Charles Ramson, and Minister of Finance, Dr. Ashni Singh, lent their voices in support of the 2023 budget. This brings us to the end of this edition of Weekly Digest. For these and other government-related stories, do log on to our website, dpi.gov.gy, and our social media platforms as well. Goodbye.